Thinking about this video, I had so many things run through my mind, so many thoughts, and I do not even know now what I want to share. But if there's one thing I know, it's that the world is losing dreamers. The world is losing dreamers. I want to ask you a question. Yes, you. I want to ask you a question. Do you want to be great in life? Do you want to succeed in life? Better still, if you do, then ask yourself, are you on the path to that greatness? Are you on that path to that success that you want? It is because statistics have shown that if you pick the working class out of the population, many never achieve their purpose or never get to where they actually wanted to get to. If you pick 100 people, only 5 out of that 100 make it to the point where they can say they achieved their goals in life or they achieved their dreams. Why is it so? The truth is, many things happen, but there's one thing that is significant, and that is the fact that we conform. We stop to dream, we stop to aspire. We stop to think of ourselves as the people that we were when we were younger. Take for instance a child that is growing up. You ask the child, what do you want to be in future? He doesn't think for 5 hours, he doesn't think for 10 hours, he doesn't think for however long you want to think about it. He just within seconds knows what he wants to be, because at that point in time his mind is free. School has not yet conformed him to the point where he doesn't believe in himself anymore. As a child, he believes he can do whatever he wants to be because he likes it. Children choose occupations because it is something they have passion in. It is something they believe they can do without knowing the processes that it will take them to get to that point. A child would say, I want to be a doctor. Not because he knows where, how, and when he's going to be, but because he has the passion to help others. A child will say, I want to become a banker, not because he knows how, when, and where he's going to be, but because he loves maths. Many of us today are not where we actually have to be. Not because we did not aspire, not because we did not want to be the bankers, not because we do not want to be the lawyers, not because we do not want to be the scientists, not because we do not want to be the great men in life, but it's because we stopped to dream, we stopped to expand, we stopped thinking of ourselves as those people that have the ability, but we conform to the dictates of the world. One great man said that the opposite of courage is not cowardice but conformity. One of the greatest things that is killing most people in life is their conformity to the world. We conform to our environment each and every day. There were so many things going through my mind because I had a lot to share, because I've come to the realization that we do not actually live the life we want to live, but we live the life the world wants us to live. We are born, we are sent to school, we are told you can do this, you cannot do that. We graduate out of school, we continue schooling if you want to, we jump straight into the job market if we want to, and we start working, we earn, we get married, we give birth to children, we continue to earn till we are 60, we go on pension, we receive our pension and we die. That has been the way man or so many people have led their lives for so long a time. But let me tell you one thing, the great men and the people we talk about each and every day did not live their lives that way. They did not become great because they went to school, got married, got a job, worked their job all their life, and died at the age of 70. No, they chose their own path. If you want to be great, you need to create. God, who we all know and we all talk about in different ways, in diverse ways, why do we do so? Because he was a creator. He is the creator of heaven and earth. That is why even if you do not believe in him, there is no way you can go without mentioning his name one way or the other, because he was a creator. It doesn't matter if you are an atheist, it doesn't matter if you're a Satanist, it doesn't matter if you're a Buddhist, you cannot go without mentioning God in your religion or in whatever thing that you are doing, because he was a creator. Look into history. All the great men that have ever walked in this world were the men that created. And so I put it to you that if you want to succeed, if you want to be great in life, create. How do you create? You create by dreaming. And not just by dreaming, but by dreaming big. Most of us by now, even at my age, have given up on most of our dreams, myself inclusive. We grew up wanting to be lawyers, doctors, and all the professions you could think about. But then we went to primary 6, we went to JHS 3, we wrote our BEC, and they told us we could not qualify to do medicine, you could not qualify to do science, you do not qualify to do general art, you do not qualify to do visual art. Not because you do not have the capacity to do it, but because an exam that you wrote told you that you cannot do it. And so we moved to secondary school, we settle for what we are given. You cannot do science, and so you move to art. You cannot do science, so you move to technical. You cannot do science, art, or you cannot do business, and so you do visual art. You cannot do business, and so you do general art. You finish secondary school and you want to go to the university or your technical university, and you are told you cannot do architecture, you cannot do accounting, you cannot do law, you cannot do medicine. So we settle for pharmacy, we settle for nursing, we settle for lab physician, not because we want to do it, but because an exam told us that we could not be. So all through our lives, we live our lives not because we want to be what we are today, but because the world told us that we cannot be what we wanted to be. Enough of that. I do not want that anymore in my life. I do not want a life that is dictated by someone. I want a life that is dictated by me. I don't know for you, but it is not enough just to go through life completing someone's assignment because that person led you through life. I do not want to be the man that just lived, worked all his life, gave birth to children, and died just going through life the simple way. Where was the dream I had when I was a boy? Where was the dream you had when you were a little child? About how great you were going to do in life, about all the great things you were going to accomplish. Where did all those dreams go? Because the world told us we could not dream anymore. And that is the worst mistake that we made. And the first was that we accepted what the world said. Do not accept what your environment says if you know you have the passion for what you want to do. Take Thomas Edison for instance. Everyone said he could not make that bulb because he had failed not once, not twice, not thrice. He had failed and failed and failed again. No one believed we could ever have an electric bulb. Everyone was comfortable with lanterns. Everyone was comfortable with the candles. Everyone was comfortable with what they had at the moment. But it took a restless man who did not want the candles anymore, who did not want the lanterns anymore, but wanted something bigger, something better, something greater. He pursued his dream and pursued it every day. He desired it, had focus on it. And today you and I have an electric bulb. Not because he conformed to what the world said. Not because he received the best of education. If you read the biography of Edison, actually, he did not receive the greatest of education. I believe in the early years of his life, he was homeschooled by his mom. But he turned out to be the greatest scientist ever. Not because he was the smartest, but because he was the one that was very persistent and focused on his dream. How many of us today are focused on our dream? Most of us give up along the way because the world tells us that you cannot do that, you cannot do this, you cannot do that, and you cannot accomplish this. Well, I don't believe what the world says anymore. I believe in what I say because now I know that you are what you think about. A verse in the scripture says that if you believe, you will receive, because all things are possible to him that believeth. We say these words in church, we recite these memory verses in church all the time, but we do not come to the understanding of some of these scriptures. All we need to become great in life is found in the scriptures. We do not need even school education anymore. But we throw the good things of life away and conform to what the world says. Look at the history books. We talk of the 7 wonders of the world. Why is it that all the 7 wonders of the world are in the olden days? Let me tell you why. It was because in the olden days they were free. They were not told you cannot do this or you cannot do that. The Egyptians were never told they could not build those pyramids. The Chinese were not told they could not build that wall. They only knew that they could do it, and they did it. They were free and not conforming to any rule or anything that someone had to say. But look at our lives today. We think we are living in the best generation ever. We think we are living in the best world ever. It's true. We are living in the best of conditions in this time, better than what they had in their time. But what are our results today? Our results are nothing compared to those days. Now people want to know, how did the Egyptians build those pyramids? What mathematical formulas did they use to build the pyramids? Let me tell you, if it was today, Egyptians would never have been able to build those pyramids, because someone somewhere would have told them that it's never possible to arrange blocks together on top of each other without a firm or solid pillar at each side. But they did it. That is why it's a wonder of the world. What am I telling you? Do not just believe what the world is telling you. Believe in what you are telling you. If you believe you would be the greatest in that field you want to be, pursue it no matter what.